Hello everybody, my name's Tom Viola, and I am here today to walk you through a how-to guide of using the Unabated odds and prop screen here in the next 10 minutes. I'm going to give you the nuts and bolts of how the tools work so that you can start finding your own EV. Let's get started off here by talking left to right on the top bar here. So, in the top left corner, we've got our sport selector here. You can also use this bar up top, this drop-down menu here. But if you just want to switch through sports through here, you can do that as well. Then the next one over here that says spread, this is where you can choose your market. We've got money lines, we've got spreads, and we've got totals, and you can view a spread total combined view if you so desire. The next one over here is where we start getting into some of our derivative markets. You have your full game markets, but then we also have first half lines, second half lines, and all of the quarters for the NFL. Same thing works with basketball, and of course hockey splits into periods instead, but you get how that works. The next thing that we've got here, we've got our live game tab. Now, if I toggle over here right now, there's no live games going on, so unfortunately, I can't show off that tool to you at the moment, but this is where, during games, you will be able to see live in-game lines that populate in real time so you can track and price shop in-game numbers as well as pre-game. But going back to our pre-game menu here, we also have the date here. And you can go and you can view historical lines from other weeks' action right here. It's great for tracking your progress, great for tracking your closing line value and your bet results. The next thing up is our filter tab here. This is where you can filter out upcoming games, games that are live if you don't want to see those. It's basically how you can manage the games that you're going to see on your screen because there is a lot here. You can also star games over here in the corner to turn them into my games, quote unquote, and then you can use that as another way to organize your games right there. Then, of course, we have the search function. It works exactly as it sounds, not as useful for football, but for basketball, especially college hoops. If you want to sort through all of the games that are going on a given day, you just type it in and boom, it will automatically spit out all of the games with those teams. Also works for player props, which we'll get to more in a minute. The next thing here that we've got your odds. You can choose between looking at them in American odds, decimal, probability, sport trade, and of course you can toggle on to include or exclude commission from odds for sports betting exchanges. Now, we move on over here to this other side of the tabs, and we have a whole bunch of tools up here. I'm going to show off a couple of them to you. The Compare Lines tool is a fantastic one because let's say you've got this game between the Falcons and the Steelers right here, and you want to know which is better, this plus 4.5 plus 117 or plus 5.5 at minus 104. Well, you can click on both of those lines, and it is going to compare them for you. You just hit this button right here. The computer works for a second, and then it tells you, okay, based on the lines you've put in, 5.5 at minus 104 is equal to 4.5 at plus 104, and you are getting a better number on this sharp hook P number right here at 4.5 plus 117, so that's the better number. It's a fantastic tool to help you out. The next thing that we have, you've got your market line history. Works the same way. You click on a line and boom, all of a sudden you're seeing all of the line movement from that particular game, from that particular sports book. So you can change sports books here and see how they've moved as well. It's great for reading different markets. Next up here, we've got the settings tab. This is where you are going to be able to go and you are going to be able to adjust which books you're going to see on your odds screen. So I click it and all of the sports books come up here and you have options. Say you don't want to see necessarily, you don't bet at MGM, so you don't want to see those lines. You can remove those. Maybe you don't want to see, maybe you don't want to see a line pop up in your best line calculator, but you do want to see it on the main screen. You can toggle that off by itself. It's incredibly useful for just that. And now let's move on to the main event here on the odds screen. What do all of these numbers that we're looking at mean? So first off, we've got our best line column here. This is, just as it said, it's going to take all of the different sports books that you can that you can bet from, and you can also move these around up here, by the way. But it's going to take all of the different sports books on our odds screen, and it's going to tell you, okay, out of all of those, this is the best line on this particular market. It's also going to show off the edge that you have on that market. So if I take us over here into college basketball, let's look at some college hoops where there are a few more edges right now, because it's going to tell you that you have an edge here. But what does that edge mean? Well, it's compared to the unabated line. And the unabated line is our own personal blend of herbs, spices, and market making books that says, based on what these market makers have for this game right now as their price, we blend it all together, we pull out the VIG, and we give you the VIG-free fair price on this game. This is your source of truth to compare your edges to. For example, Mount St. Mary's, Caesars has them at -3, -110. The unabated line says that that should be -4 plus 104, and that is a 2.5% edge. And right there is how you hunt for your own edges. Last but certainly not least, we have the hold tab, which measures the synthetic hold. If you want a video tutorial on that, you can check it out on our YouTube channel to know exactly what theoretical hold is. But for those of you that already know, in this event, we have a negative synthetic hold, which means that there is a potential arbitrage opportunity as well here. Now, let's go on to our prop screen for a minute. Let's look at some NBA props for tonight. This is the other big piece that we have here to show you today in this basic how-to. Now, the first thing that we're going to need here, because as you can see, the whole top bar works the same way as it did over on the odds screen. You can choose your different markets, and anyone that has a sim next to it means that you can run the unabated prop simulator on it. But first we need a projection set. So we come over here to our projections and we'll pull in the Fantasy Pros numbers here. And you can also upload your own. We have a couple preloaded offerings for you, but we also have custom offerings. If you upload your own projections, you're going to be able to use whatever source you would like. And that is super easy. You can use our template, which you can download here, or you can use our new easier projection mapper to download them from any format which you choose. You can also choose to blend them around just by hitting include here, and then you can use the sliding scale to determine how you want to blend your projections, and boom, they are going to come up for you here. Then you just click that little green button that says simulate, and the simulator is going to start working. It takes a minute because there are a lot of props here, but as we scroll down, we can see some of these have already populated here, and it's going to show off all of the different edges across all of these books. Now, these edges are a little bit different than those main edges from the unabated line because all of these are dependent on the projections you put in. The more accurate the projections you put in, the better quality they are, the better your lines are going to be when they come, the better your edges are going to be when they come out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is, in a nutshell, the unabated mainline odds screen and the unabated prop simulator. But there's so much more to explore at unabated.com. Use the link in this video if you would like to also hop on for a one-on-one demo with one of our fantastic customer service representatives to explore even further into the world of unabated. Best of luck. Thank you so much for being with us, and happy hunting.